adventure Diamond is Unbreakable, episode 12, part 2 of Red Hot Chili Pepper. This episode, I gotta say, was definitely one of my favorite episodes, and it's definitely much better than last week's episode. Not only do we get the reveal of Red Hot Chili Pepper stand user, but we also get to see part 4 Old Man Joseph as a senile older man. Yeah, he's gone senile, and his very first meeting with his illegitimate son, Josuke. Jotaro came up with a plan to stop Akira from getting to Joseph to kill him. He and Okuyasu were heading to the boat to guard Joseph, while Josuke and Koichi stayed behind in the harbor. Because apparently, according to Jotaro, Akira was there in the harbor. He was going to use his stand on a remote-controlled model plane to fly his stand onto the boat to kill Joseph. Yeah, he was right about Akira's plan. God damn, why isn't he a private detective or something? He'd make a really good one. Instead, he became a marine biologist. I guess that one time he punched a shark, and that other time he was scuba diving and almost getting crushed by giant teeth made him realize what he wanted to do with his life, I guess. Meanwhile, we get to see Joseph Joestar, part 4, old man Joseph for real this time. We even get to hear him speak. You can definitely tell that he's gotten really older these past 11 years. He's gone senile. There were moments where, you know, he forgot that his cane was like right in front of him, or he was like holding it. And there was even times where like he couldn't hear what Okuyasu said. He misunderstood him saying stand user, and he was like, you can't stand losers? It was funny. What if this whole time he was just messing with Okuyasu? Like he was just playing like a prank on him? Like that would be totally something Joseph Joestar would do, but I don't know, I definitely see him being that senile, and I just find him so like adorable. It's like, I want this guy protected 24/7. I don't want anything bad happening to him, you know? I hope nothing bad happens to him. The stand user for Red Hot Chili Pepper makes his full appearance, and it is Akira Otoishi, and I really like his design. The purple hair, the color schemes, it's exactly what it looks like in, I believe, in the colored scans of the manga, and even in the video games. And I really like that scar, which is like a lightning bolt on his face. It looks really cool. And he was holding a guitar. He brought a guitar with him for some reason, which I don't get, but it was really cool that he had it, because every now and then he would play his guitar, and he is really good. It's a shame that he was an enemy stand user, because he would make a great guitarist, you know? And that was his dream in life, to become a superstar. He was going to take on Josuke, and he said that he was going to use his pinky to defeat him. And Josuke was about to place some rules on him, but then Akira said, oh, someone like you don't need no rules. So, you know, taking it seriously, Josuke, you know, could do whatever he wanted, so he punched Akira's pinky and broke it. He didn't even use his stand. So that is awesome, you know? It's always cool seeing like stand users doing some of the fighting, not just always a stand. But he had a hard time against Red Hot Chili Pepper, because he was surrounded by these drainage gates that were on the ground, and there were electric cables underneath. So every time Red Hot Chili Pepper would just pop out of one of the grates and attack Josuke and Crazy Diamond, it was too fast for Josuke. And as for Koichi, well, Koichi was just the witness. He didn't do much except, you know, like tell Josuke like where Red Hot Chili Pepper was gonna pop up. So yeah, that was his role. But Josuke, once again, having a plan. Because every time he was punching the ground, he was using its fixing ability to revert the asphalt to its original base. And that would allow Koichi to easily spot where Red Hot Chili Pepper was going to pop up. It actually worked, because Koichi was able to spot Red Hot Chili Pepper, tells Josuke, and then he has Crazy Diamond attack the stand with a do-da-da-da-da-da-da beat down, which is great. Akira decides to take things more seriously by absorbing all the electricity in all of Morioh, in the entire town, absorbing all that electricity to power up the stand, to make it even more stronger, faster, more powerful. It's now even more stronger than Crazy Diamond. So yeah, if it's stronger than Crazy Diamond, it can definitely hold its own against Star Platinum. I mean, I even saw the stats. I mean, it was like all A's except for one. He was able to punched the stand really hard, sending the stand and Josuke flying, crashing onto this forklift. But before they crashed, Red Hot Chili Pepper appeared again and punched it 2 more times before it even, crashes onto the forklift. I mean, damn, the stand's brutal. But again, Josuke has another plan, which was to use his stand's ability to repair the tire from the forklift and trapping the stand inside. But unfortunately, the tire wasn't really thick enough to insulate the electricity, so Red Hot Chili Pepper was able to burst out. But either way, it was like a lose-lose situation for Akira because the tire was originally full of air, and when the tire repaired itself, the air came back onto the tire. So when Red Hot Chili Pepper attempted to get out, all that air came out and the stand and the tire was sent flying onto the ocean. And we all know that water conducts electricity, so all that electricity was spreading out, breaking the stand apart to the point where there was pieces scattered, and that was it. It looked like Akira died, and there was even smoke coming out of his body, but it didn't look exactly like the same mist that you usually see whenever a stand user dies, or if a stand user sees another person die. It doesn't look like the same because it looks more like steam that is coming out of something that's being fried. But it seems like it was all over, and we even get the scene where the boat was getting closer to the harbor, and Josuke wasn't actually feeling all happy, and we actually get to learn his honest feelings about meeting his biological father for the first time, because he knows that this is his first time meeting him, and he never had a father throughout his entire life. In fact, if you think about it, his only father figure would have been Ryohei, his grandfather, but he died in episode 2, which was very unfortunate. As he expressed before back in episode 1, things were fine the way they were. I mean, he had a good life and his mother raised him properly, and he was just thinking this was going to be very awkward. And since, he just found out over a month ago that he had a father and he never saw him before, and he can't really just straight out call him dad right away. But he doesn't have a grudge against Joseph because, he knew that Joseph didn't know that he had a son, because if he did, then he definitely would have been there in his life. He definitely would have. So, did Tomoko even knew that Joseph was Josuke's father? Or, I don't want to say this, but what if she was sleeping around during her 20s and she had no idea who the father was? Again, makes me really wish we got to know more about the affair, but yeah. Josuke was feeling some conflicted emotions, but he wasn't angry at Joseph. It's just that he was worried that things would get very awkward, and he was even thinking about how things would be if Tomoko met Joseph. You know what? I honestly understand Josuke feeling this. I don't blame him. Koichi then notices that Akira's body was missing. All that was left was the guitar. And it turns out that Akira somehow got onto the boat and dressed up as a member of the Speedwagon Foundation. He had to do that while Josuke and Koichi weren't looking. And he had to swim all the way to the boat, take off his clothes, and then disguise himself as a Speedwagon Foundation member. And I'm thinking, seriously? I mean, it depends on the distance between him and the boat and how fast he was as a swimmer. He had to be somewhere where Josuke and Koichi didn't notice him, yeah, that happened. Koichi, using his stand echoes, warns Jotaro, and the boat is on high alert. Okuyasu's now aware, and unfortunately Akira already was in the room with Okuyasu, but another member noticed Akira. Akira, as a last-ditch effort to save himself, accuses the other member of the Speedwagon Foundation as the enemy stand user. And then he started playing mind tricks on Okuyasu again, make him attack the wrong person. All the while, he would use his stand, Red Hot Chili Pepper, which he's still able to use even though it was in the freaking water. I guess maybe he dispelled the stand before it completely disappeared. I don't freaking know. Anyway, it was still broken. You can tell it was still apart, but he was still able to use his stand. It still had enough power to appear behind Joseph, who has no idea what was going on, by the way. And he was gonna use that stand to attack Joseph. And Okay, Okuyasu noticed the stand. You could just attack the stand, right? I mean, attack the stand, not the stand user. If you're not sure, then just attack the stand. He was capable of attacking Red Hot Chili Pepper in the previous episode, and this stand is a bit weaker than last time, so... Oh, am I kidding? I mean, Okuyasu's not smart. But luckily, Okuyasu was able to figure it out by punching the real enemy stand user Akira in the face. So he didn't fall for the same trick twice. So how did he figure it out? He decided to punch them both. Well, it's a good thing he picked the right one first. Otherwise, there would be a serious problem right there. Oh my god, I love Okuyasu so much. We then get the first meeting between father and son, Joseph and Josuke. Joseph's cane was broken and he trips and Josuke catches him because at the end of the day, Josuke is a nice guy. He likes to help people, you know? Logically, he would use his crazy diamonds to repair the cane so that he could walk again, which was something Okuyasu points out, but at the end of the day, no, Okuyasu. It was a good idea, but no, not a good time. Instead, he tells Joseph to hold on to his hand so that he can walk with him. And it was so nice. It was so sweet. It was very touching and it was very emotional. And it was also pretty funny because, like, not only with Okuyasu's obliviousness, but during the whole thing, Josuke was blushing, which I thought was really funny and cute at the same time. Oh my god, Josuke was being all like tsundere on Joseph. It was so adorable. I really liked it. And even Jotaro was smiling, which was very nice. And Koichi even got himself emotional. But there's still the matter at hand about locking up Akira. Probably. I'm not sure if they can like charge him with anything, but I know that they'll have to like punish him in some way. Not only that, but also find the bow and arrow. The episode ended where we see a bathroom and someone taking a shower and you see a woman's hand. But then you see a man's hand grabbing onto the woman's hand and it was severed. And then you just see a blood drip and that was it. That was the end of the episode. Oh my god! Like, oh, when are we gonna see Kira? I wanna see Kira. I wanna see his stand. I wanna see him in action. And this isn't actually the first teaser that we got. And I'm not talking about episode 1. No, like during the scene when Akira was like powering up his stand, absorbing all that electricity from Morioh, and in one scene where you see like people on the sidewalk and there's traffic, you see a blonde-haired man wearing a purple suit. I had no idea when I did the reaction video, but I received a comment telling me about this right after I did the reaction video, and oh my god, I can't believe I didn't notice that. I mean, it's Kira. I want to see him, man. When? Well, there's still the bow and arrow to get, and there's probably like maybe some enemy stand users that Akira probably used on the bow and arrow with, but and then there's still like the matter of like knowing more about his motive, you know. But then again, we don't even know if he did use the bow and arrow on anyone. Then, of course, we have to get to another character that was shown in the key visuals. I'm talking about a certain manga artist that I'm saying. We still gotta get to him, and then we'll get to Kira? Maybe? I don't know. I just want to see him, you know? So yeah, overall, if you can't tell how I've been acting lately, I really enjoyed this episode. I really liked it. This was much better than last week's episode, and the animation definitely improved. It looked much better. This has got to be like my favorite episode so far in Diamonds Unbreakable. Akira, I really like his design. I really like how he looked. And the one thing I wanted to see in the anime that he actually does in the video games is seeing him rock out with that guitar, and it looked amazing. I mean, the guitar music was really good. I mean, kudos to whoever was playing the guitar for Akira. And every time he played the guitar, the scenery would change as like an arena, as he was like playing in a stadium, and you like hear the crowd like screaming and cheering. The second like guitar solo that he did was very well done. It was like right after he had his pinky broken, and he had to like figure out a way to like vent that frustration and anger and express it, you know. and he was able to like put his broken pinky back in place and still play the guitar. And he was literally expressing himself with that guitar. And when I mean literally like speaking how he was feeling through the guitar, through the music. Like, his guitar was saying, "I'm gonna kill your mamas too." Like, how the hell did he do that? Yeah, it was weird. Like, I had no idea how he did that, but it was freaking cool. And at the end, he had this like face, like he just had an orgasm. He was even drooling, like, okay, yeah. Akira, as an enemy stand user, has got to be the coolest enemy stand user that I've seen so far in Diamonds Unbreakable. I really like not only his stand, Red Hot Chili Pepper, but I like how he used its ability, and I liked how he was acting as a villain. I actually thought the coolest enemy stand that I've seen so far was Bad Company, and I did like Keicho as an enemy, but I like Akira more, and his stand Red Hot Chili Pepper is awesome. The fight was well done. I really liked the fight. I liked how Josuke was like using his stand and using his surroundings to win against Akira. It just shows like how smart and cunning and how much of a quick thinker he really is. As for Koichi, I think he became Speedwagon in this fight. I mean, at least he was helpful in his own way, but I don't know, I was expecting him to like step up and use his stand to help, but no, guess not. And then there's this scene with Okuyasu. I'm so proud of Okuyasu because he didn't fall for the same trick twice, but at least he picked the right one. So, you know what? He did a good thing. He protected old man Joseph. He made a reference to the anime Osomatsu because he mistakenly called Okuyasu Osomatsu, even though he said the first time Okuyasu, but you know, he's very forgetful, you know? So we got an Osomatsu reference, and fun fact, Daisuke Ono, voice actor of Jotaro Kujo, actually voiced one of the brothers in the anime, the new anime, Jushimatsu. I think it was the one with the yellow sweater and the one that always acts all goofy, that one. And part for Joseph, it's a bit sad that he's gotten like senile, but again, it can't be helped because it's old age. But I was just happy to see him, and I thought he was like really funny, especially when he mistaken the name Red Hot Chili Pepper because he said, "What? Popo popo hot to popo." I mean, I was dying because I mean, like, no, Joseph. It was a bit sad, but you know what? I still like Joseph. I'm looking forward to seeing like what kind of like hijinks he'll end up in. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. This was one of my favorite ones. I really liked the action, I liked the emotion at the end, and the freaking teasers with Kira. Ugh. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Diamonds Unbreakable. And speaking of which, next week's episode, apparently it's called I Found Something Crazy. Yeah, the title doesn't reveal much, so is this the part where we'll see the certain manga artist that we'll be getting to? I don't know. Maybe this is the part we'll get to see another enemy stand user that has got stabbed by Akira with the bow and arrow. I don't know. But then again, there's also with Joseph and, you know, his relationship with Josuke, which I hope that it will develop. And who knows, maybe in due time, Josuke will really call him dad. So yeah, tell me guys, what did you think of this week's episode of Diamonds Unbreakable? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of the fight between Josuke and Red Hot Chili Pepper? And what did you think of the stand user Akira? Which honestly, I think he's probably the coolest enemy stand user that I've seen so far. Yeah, definitely a favorite of mine in Diamonds Unbreakable so far. Now that I think about it, this might be like his last appearance. This is the first time we get to see his stand user, and this might be the last time we'll see him, at least for a long time. And what did you think about Okuyasu during this situation? And did you get the feels like I did during the ending scene between father and son, between Joseph and Josuke? It was very nice. It was very nice. So yeah, leave your thoughts about the episode in the comment section down below. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to more videos, and be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamonds Unbreakable, episode 12. I'm Luis 27, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.